home buyer and home seller advice, legal matters, insurance binders, flood insurance concerns, home inspection questions, environmental worries like radon, lead paint, and mold, mortgages and loan programs, staging tips and ideas, real estate contracts, market trends, home values, and more. It's a talk radio show, and you can follow along online. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We'd love to talk real estate. If you missed any of our shows,
have
you
a
can
great
listen
show,
on my
everybody.
podcast at talkrealestateradio.com. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me regarding your home sale or your home purchase, you can connect with me anytime at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000.
Here we go.
Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate. And hello to all my South Shore neighbors. This is Sharon McNamara, and you are, of course, listening to Talk Real Estate with Sharon McNamara and the crew. I have Mary Baker with me tonight. Hello, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, any better? I'd be on vacation. You know why I can say that?
I was going to say.
Because I booked one. I'm yelling.
No, I said because you're going.
Oh, yes, because I am. I'm going. I booked a vacation. So I thought it would be good feng shui of me because we were supposed to go to Aruba last year, March 18th to March 25th. Didn't happen for obvious reasons. So I rebooked it for the same exact dates. I mean, it can't go wrong twice.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But I do find it funny. Is it the same exact dates? Like,
Yep.
Is it a Thursday to it? Like,
Yeah. So last year we were going to go Wednesday. This year we're going Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. Same exact dates. Mm-hmm. And I also have Melissa Wallace. Hello, hello.
Hello. I am here.
Yes, you are. And you are getting us all set up here on social media and getting us on Facebook Live and all that great stuff. So to all our listeners, we have a show that I am super, super excited about tonight. And
you've been posting for days.
I've literally been posting for days on this. And we have a special guest with us. And I called her during the week and just said, I sort of made a promise to our WATD listeners last week. So could you help me out? So she did us a solid and she is here tonight with us. So we have Kerri Miller with us, and she is, what would you call yourself? A feng shui specialist, consultant, clearing? You do all of the above, correct?
I call myself a Feng Shui and energy clearing practitioner. So
okay, perfect.
Yeah,
now we're having a little problem hearing you, Ben. Can you hear Kerri?
Pull your microphone up a little bit, Kerri.
Yeah, just flip down a little bit. Is that better?
Yes, we definitely need that. Yep.
Great.
Okay. And what else was I going to say? Oh, so Kerri, can you tell us a little bit about you? And we'll get into the topic, of course. We're going to be talking about feng shui. And I just thought I did watch a webinar that you did a couple of weeks ago with the Boston business women. And I thought, because of what we're going through right now with so many people working from home, one of the things that you talked about was like your home office. So I just wanted to talk about, is your home office set up for success? And if not, Kerri's going to tell you how. I'm super excited about it.
I'll go home now and completely revamp my library. Like, that's going to happen.
Well, I will say, yeah, since I've been watching you on Zoom, you're doing something wrong, but I'll let Kerri tell you what it is.
The shock and awe on my face right now, you can't see it unless you're watching us, but
yeah, you're sort of doing a big no-no, but I'm going to let Kerri talk and then you try to figure out what it is and then you'll figure out how to rearrange your office.
Can I guess it? Oh wait, it's probably no.
Okay. Let's get into the show. Okay. So we're going to let Kerri give us a little history about you and let all our listeners here at WATD know who you are.
Sure. So my name's Kerri Miller. I am a Feng Shui and energy clearing practitioner. And I've been doing this on my own for about, I hate to say it, 22 years. It's been a long time. Mm-hmm. And I started with Feng Shui just by reading a book, and I fell in love with it. I just got great, amazing results from playing with it on my own. And I ended up getting certified to practice in about 2004. And I've been working with clients ever since. And I really believe that your surroundings have an influence on how you feel and what your mood is, and even how much money you make. And so I think that it's almost this secret little tool that you can use to give yourself an advantage in all kinds of things in life. So
Mhm. And I 100% agree. So even like before I met you, which is why I was so excited to listen to your, the webinar that you did, is because I really am all about the energy. And you and I had a private conversation just about in real estate in itself. When I do go into homes and I'm looking at homes for people, I definitely pick up on the energy. So I'm really excited about this topic. Did you ladies have any first questions or?
I think Mary had asked her before we started, but is it Feng Shui or
Yeah,
Feng
yes,
Shui?
it's like a lot of people will call it either Feng Shui or Feng Shui, but you can get away with both.
Okay, I'm gonna say phonetically it's Feng Shui.
Yeah, what do you prefer, Kerri?
I say Feng Shui. Yeah.
Feng Shui.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have I been saying it right or wrong?
I don't know.
Feng Shui. Feng Shui.
Feng Shui.
Feng Shui. Okay. Doesn't really matter. So let's get right into our topic. I also want to let our listeners know, if you are listening to us on WATD, welcome. And if you have any questions regarding this topic, please feel free to call. Ben is in the studio tonight, 781-837-4900. So he will connect you to us. So we will be able to ask questions to Kerri directly for you. If you are watching us on Facebook, please feel free to use the Facebook chat to post any of your questions. Melissa is listening to all of that as well. And we did send out the link for sort of last minute. Something new we tried to send out the link directly to the webinar for Zoom. So if you want to join us by webinar, feel free to join us on Zoom as well.
Sharon, I hope you had a lovely weekend, by the way.
I did have a lovely weekend. Did you?
I did. It was crazy. It was Valentine's Day and everything.
Yes, it was. It was a really, really good weekend. So I'm glad that you're in there. You listening to this topic. It's going to be a good one. Can you tell how excited I am?
You are super duper excited and making me excited by how excited everybody's getting. So this is great. It's very exciting radio.
And what do you think about our new roundtable here, Ben?
I love it. It's just, it works. It
Yes,
works. Capital
works.
W on the works.
Yeah. And for me, it's working really well because I'm the one that's hidden behind here. So no one can see, if I gain some weight back here or not.
Not that you did anyway, but just saying, it does look really professional. The whole setup looks great. I really still think you have a brick wall behind you now, and I know better, but
yes, no, that's a little soundboard.
We built that.
Yeah, we built that. Every brick that's on
homegrown.
there. So, all right. So do you want to start with some questions?
Yeah, we actually have a question from a listener.
Okay.
Is there any certain direction that your front door should be facing? Anything that could possibly bring you luck, or the front of your house, the direction it should be, if you could choose.
Well, you'll also tell the differences between the Western and.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, there's different schools of Feng Shui. They are all super powerful. I practice the westernized version of Feng Shui, which doesn't use compass directions at all, which in a way makes it a little bit easier for us here in the West, because they don't even think about Feng Shui when they're building houses or orienting them on the property. And so it's just kind of a simplified way. So I don't have a best direction for you, because that's not the kind of that's not the school of Feng Shui that I follow right now. But I think that making sure that your the front door is definitely one of the most important areas of the home, because that's where all the energy is coming in from and nourishing everybody in the space. So you really want to make sure that your front door is prominent and auspicious and, easy to locate and also easy to get in and out through.
Okay. So can we go, so when you're talking front door, so of course I'm just envisioning like my house. Technically my front door is my side door. So with the side door, we come in, and this is one thing I've always wondered, we kind of like walk into a wall almost, because that's like the divider wall to where my living room is. So is that bad? Should I be thinking about how to knock that baby down?
Well, I don't know if you necessarily have to knock it down, but it can definitely represent, like over time, energetically, it can kind of show up in your life as, hitting up against a brick wall in other parts of your life. But there are other ways to cure for it besides knocking the wall down. You could certainly, hang a picture on the wall that kind of allows your energy and even your visual eye to kind of continue on. So something like a picture with a pathway that drags you deeper into the space, rather than making you feel like you have to stop and abruptly.
Okay. I like that. I like pathways.
Yeah, and if I could say about the side door entrance, a lot of people enter through the side doorway now. So a lot of times they'll pull in through the garage and just kind of come in through the side door in the garage, or there might be a doorway that's closer to where they park their car. But the main architectural front door of the house is really still very important in Feng Shui. So even if you're not going in and out through that door all the time, you still want to make sure that one's really highlighted. And you also, it's really good to actually use that door every once in a while, because you're allowing the energy to circulate in and out through that doorway.
Oh, I am so glad that you just said that. So, Kerri, welcome to our world where we have a topic and then we just decide right at the last minute we wanted to talk about something else. So let's talk about front doors.
I want to talk about all aspects of.
Yeah, but since we are on the front door, I mean, it is such an important part of, tying this into real estate. We always say it is, that front door, that's where people are entering. You want to make sure that it has a fresh coat of paint. You don't want it peeling. You don't want the window, sometimes from the heat, like the window, like the trim stuff around the windows sort of peels and everything. I know Mary brought up hers that it goes into a wall. And every time I walk into one of our listings and we're walking into the wall, I'm like, all right, I have to either put a mirror there to bounce it back, or a crystal hanging here or something. But at my house, you walk in my front door and you want to talk about bad. You walk up the stairs and guess what's straight in front of you? The worst thing ever.
The bathroom.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And even just having the staircase directly in front of the front door, the hesitancy for that is that the energy is flowing like a waterfall down the stairs and right out your front door. It's really hard for it to get into the house and stay in the house. And then if it does make it all the way up the stairs, it's sneaking into your bathroom and then rushing right back out down the drains. So that is definitely something that you want to know about and correct for. And keeping the door closed at the top of the stairs and keeping the toilet lids closed is all helpful in just, directing the chi, the energy in other directions, so it's not rushing away from you right away.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
I was
I'm like,
pointing at me.
no, not you. No, I was pointing at Sharon because of the toilet lid thing that she does. Like, she literally walks through a house and she looks at me and she goes, Mary, what am I going to say? Like the toilet.
I thought you were pointing at me because I always put the toilet seat down. And so I always know when someone uses my bathroom because you guys don't. Like the lid, I always put it down.
People look at me that I'm a little sort of off when, because it's like, oh, nice to meet you. Oh, show me around your house. And it's like, I get into your master bathroom and I was like, I can control this feeling. I am not going to do it. And then we'll walk out of the master bathroom and I was like, I have to go back and do something. And I put the lid down. And oh yeah, everyone always says, oh yeah, I usually put it down. And I was like, honestly, it's just a feng shui thing. It's like, I don't want your good fortune going down the drain. Exactly. And I feel responsible if I don't do it. Okay.
Right. And that's what they'll say, my finances are in the toilet or my relationship is in the toilet, depending on where the bathroom falls within your house. It's really important to know where it is, because you can make some pretty easy corrections to prevent the energy from just sneaking away and draining that part of your life. So, I think that this is such an amazing secret. Once you know it, you can really shift your whole potential, because you can be stopping energy from just sneaking away where you weren't even aware of it disappearing.
Mm-hmm. When you were talking about the front door, again, not to harp on it, but we're there. So like you were saying, it's really important to use the front door. So I have a small cape, the front door, we just put on a new door. We can talk about colors. I mean, we could go on and on and on for hours, but I also heard that you shouldn't have like a, top to bottom full length glass door where a lot of the energy can just be going back and forth out. But I mean, so I'm sort of in that predicament where we do use our side door for entry, and because that's where we park the cars and everything. And I don't use the front door because honestly, I've always just been like, if I open that front door, like where is that energy going? Right up the stairs. So I'm sort of in that oxymoron type of place and not sure what to do.
Yeah, so you'll still want to open the front door and you'll want to invite energy in, because that's where, technically it's still going in and out even though the door is closed. Mm-hmm. But, circulating it and inviting it in and welcoming it in is, you want to get as much energy into the house as possible through that doorway. And even if it does go up the stairs and then run back down, at least it's come in and it's kind of energized and nourished you a little bit before it sneaks away from you again. So it's really vital to be doing that. And even if it's just, you know, going to check your mail and using the front door to do that, or letting the dog out through the front door. It can be just that powerful intention of every day, I'm going to open the front door and I'm going to invite in fresh new energy. And, you know, even I like to imagine that you're opening the front door and inviting in all the things that you want to attract into your life. Like
That's
just
where the
wave it
Amazon
all in.
boxes come. All my Amazon boxes get delivered to my front door.
Yeah.
So it is. It's like
Everything
a joy. Everything I want comes in an Amazon box. So it's funny though. One of the funny things is, you know, at the top of the stairs, that's where the bathroom is. That's like our second bathroom upstairs. And I always have the lid down. It's my thing. But my daughter and her fiance, at the beginning of COVID, they actually stayed at the house for a couple of months. They were living in the city, and it was, you know, sort of strange times, really strange back then. And every time I came around the corner, he had that lid up, and it wasn't the seat, it was the lid. And I finally, I took a label and I put Dustin, just his name, like right on the lid. Right. So my girlfriends 2 weeks ago, my two best friends from Dorchester came, they stayed the night. And 2 days later, Kim calls me. She goes, all right, Karen and I have been trying to figure it out. Can you please tell me why Dustin's name is on a label on your toilet lid?
That's so funny.
So
That's what you're going to start doing for me and Sam.
yeah.
Mary and Sam.
Do we have any questions from anybody on Facebook?
No questions, but Thomas Maloney says hello.
Hello, Thomas Maloney. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is, again, to our WATD listeners, if you have any questions, this is such a great topic. I have to tell you, like, Kerri Miller came into my life because we were meant to meet. I'm going to have her to my house and do a consultation. I might actually even do like a clearing virtually.
Oh, we should record that.
Yes, we could record that, and we
That
could
would be
make that a
fun.
blog and do all kinds of fun stuff with that. So I am going to personally hire her. All our listeners know that I only have guests on this show that I trust and would use myself. And Kerri's energy, when I had met her, didn't even really meet her because on the webinar, I was in my car, but just your voice and the calmness that's in your voice, I knew that it would be somebody that would be a good fit with me. So I'm really happy that you're here. So to our WATD listeners, 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. If you have any questions regarding Feng Shui, please feel free to call us. Ben is in the studio and he will get you through to us so you can ask your question. But please don't make it a long question because I have a lot myself.
Well, I do actually have another question. So somebody wants to know, is there a certain direction that would help with like a prosperous life?
Yeah, so if you are looking at specific schools of Feng Shui, there are some schools of Feng Shui that will give you a direction. The school that I practice from, we use everything oriented from the front door. So there's actually a wealth corner in your house, and it's usually the far left corner. If you're standing in your front door, and if you can think about what's in the farthest left corner of your house, that is your wealth corner. And so that would be the area that I would definitely send you to take a look at what's going on there. And if there's a lot of clutter there, see if you can make some room. If it's a little bit not organized, try to organize so that you can make sure that the energy is flowing through and nourishing that financial part of your life. And then you can even do things like put specific feng shui cures in place that are calling even more energy to that area. So it can be really powerful.
When you say far left corner, so is that like in every room? Like if you're standing at the doorway, it's the far left corner?
So there is a wealth corner for the whole house. And then each individual room would also have its own wealth corner. So you could technically be missing the wealth corner of the house if you have like maybe you have a screened in porch off the back. So it's not a square shaped house. You could be missing it, but then you can go into each individual room and you can highlight that area and call energy that way instead. So it's very
Yeah, 'cause-
individualized based on what your house is.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that I knew about my house as well, is that, we had the cape, so basically squared off in the back. Then we did an addition off the back of the house, but it's really only half. That's where the master bedroom is. So from the front door, that would be the far left corner, but then this right side there's nothing there. So I never knew, do I count my master bedroom as that section? On the second floor, on the first floor, it would be the living room, but I'm not sure because that isn't the perfect square. There would be pieces missing on the other side.
Yeah. It sounds like you're missing some of the areas. And so there are ways to correct for that. And sometimes when you become aware of that, you might notice that there's a correlation, like maybe you've been struggling in that part of your life already. And so by putting some cures in place that call energy to that area and strengthen that foundation in other ways, you can support that part of your life.
Yeah, I can't wait to have her to my house.
I think I figured out your office, what you said.
Yeah,
Mary
Mary.
Feng Shui.
Yeah.
I think I figured it out.
Mary's out in Mary's house.
yeah.
Yeah. We haven't gotten there yet, but
Oh,
all right.
I think I
So
figured-
again, I want to make sure that our listeners know this. So Mary, don't worry, you can hire her too. Okay. So
I'm gonna
we'll
need to. I just drew. I'm like freaking out right now because I just drew. I
what
was
her
like,
house looks like.
I was like,
Yes.
what if you have 4 houses that are kind of put together as
You're
one?
in big trouble. She'll figure it all out though. But that's what we'll have to do, Kerri, is for all of our listeners, if you want to have a consultation as well and hire Kerri, maybe she can do a day on the South Shore because
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So that way there, it's, worth your while to come and travel and see us. So you can even stay at my house. I have a couple spare bedrooms. So
Excellent. Feng Shui there.
yes. So let's get on to the topic because I think it's really important. There are so many people working from home. And I also was hoping that we would have a little time to potentially talk about all the kids that are working from home remotely, with schoolwork too. So how we can set everybody up for success. So if you could just give us a little tutorial regarding home offices, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, the first thing that I'll say is that I think with COVID-19 and everybody working from home and schooling from home, we're definitely asking our houses to do a lot more than usual. And so as it is, our homes, are stretched to capacity and now we're squeezing more in. And so it can be hard to find the optimal situation for your office because there's so many other things going on that you also have to make do for. But I will say that a lot of the basic things that people might do is, set themselves up at the dining room table or set themselves up at the kitchen counter, or maybe find a corner of their bedroom. And it's important to consider whether or not that space is really supporting you fully. It may have worked for the first couple of weeks when it was a temporary space and nobody knew how long we were going to be doing this. But now that it's day after day, to see if you can take a look at where you're actually working and make sure that it's supporting you for the long term. Because, over time, if the energy around you is kind of knocking at you because you're not in a good spot or making you feel more vulnerable, it's going to start to show up in, how energized you feel and how focused you feel and how productive you are and how other people that you're working with see you. And so there are some adjustments that you can make to make sure that you're feeling supported and energized and focused. And basically, you really want to, as permanent a spot as you can carve out, the better. But especially if you can set yourself up so that you have a supportive wall behind you and all the things that you need in your workspace nearby, good lighting, and also can see the room in front of you and the door in front of you will energetically really set you up in a very supportive way and also allow your body to relax and focus better on the work at hand.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you just said a whole lot. I was
gave you a
following.
lot there. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, because I'm going to take notes and we'll potentially put something together. So people, if they're missing this, we're taking notes. But find one place to sort of anchor yourself is what you said. You want to make sure that you have a wall behind you supporting you, right?
Yep. So just like you are right now, you have that solid wall behind you and you kind of, nobody can sneak up on you and the energy can't be, sneaking up on you and draining you throughout the day. So you're in that position, you're going to feel more energized at the end of the day than you would if you had your back to the open room.
Okay. And then the other thing is you said to make sure that the door is in front of you. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so that's the same thing. The energy is coming in that door. And if you have your back to the door, it's kind of hitting you in the back all day. And your central nervous system is always kind of checking in and feeling what's going on around you and trying to make sure that you're protected and safe. So, and it's much more aware of the open room behind you and the open door behind you. And so it'll be overactive because it's checking that. And even though you might not be aware of it on a day-to-day basis, you're probably coming home a little bit more tired or, not having gotten as much done because of that. And so if you can just do that quick reorientation, even if you can like change yourself so that at least out of your peripheral vision, you can see the doorway, it will help to relax you and you'll be more on the receiving end of the energy. The energy's coming at you and being received rather than being blindsided by it. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. And I wanted you to say that for Mary because Mary has her back to an open room with a door.
Yes.
So
But
it's,
I have two doors because you got to remember my front door is there too. So if I orient,
but no one uses it.
no one uses it. That's true. Like we never use that door ever.
Yeah. But if she turned her desk around and had her back to like this little covey thing with windows, how is that? Because you said to have a solid wall behind
Yeah.
you.
So it can't always be a solid wall. Ideally, it's a solid wall and you're going to feel a lot more supported that way. If the windows are behind you, there is, the energy's coming in, it's coming at you and it's going out the windows and it might be taking a little bit of your own vital energy with it. So if you can close the drapes or put some kind of a screen or like I have a plant behind me here because there's a window there, just little layers that can help slow the energy down, make it less of an impact on you and also give you a little bit more support.
So what if you don't have options? So let's just say you're in a situation where, you really don't have that many options. I mean, Mary's office is a really, really good example of it. I thought that maybe you had said something about a mirror, that you could
Yes.
put a mirror. Can you explain that to our listeners?
Yeah, so if you have to have your back to the open room, if you were to put like a little mirror off to the side, almost like a rear view mirror, your eyes can just kind of do a quick check and make sure that nothing is sneaking up on you. Like it's almost suggestive, but it's just a little extra step that you give and your body is able to relax because it can look and know that it's safe. And so it allows your body to relax just a little bit more. It also gives you that quick second if somebody's peeking over your shoulder or if your boss is walking by, to kind of like reset yourself. So it gives you a little bit of warning. And that can just be, if you can't move your desk or reorient yourself, that can be one way to give yourself a little bit more of an advantage on that situation.
So everything that you're talking about now with the desk and the position of the desk, you were calling that the power position. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's either called the power position or the command position.
Okay. So the best position versus saying the opposite. So the best position would be to have the wall behind you looking out of a door, directly out the door or sort of to the side to the door. I know you had a graph.
Offset is better. Yeah. Offset is definitely better because then you're not being kind of hit by the energy all day long.
Okay.
So
after your webinar, I came into the office last week and I moved Mary's office. And
I was saying that before we got on air. I was like, Sharon just like put me in a power position in the office.
Yeah, well, it was also weird too, because there's a door between our offices that our desks, we have L desks. So it was weird though, that Mary was always looking at me. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't need her breathing down my neck all the time either. So I was like, let's move this. You can look out the damn front door, you know what I mean? Your office door. And then if you need to talk to me, turn.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm good with that. So what about, for, we do, we have listeners that are out in the city as well. And my daughter is actually one of them. I'm hoping that she is able to listen tonight with her fiance, Dustin, who was doing the show with us for a while. And I think he's excited about tonight's show. So hopefully they would have a chance to listen, but they are
And
in
with the plants, absolutely.
Oh yeah, he loves plants. 645 square foot apartment, 1 bedroom, 1 living room, a small kitchen. What do you do in that situation? So my daughter's desk is in her bedroom and she has 2 huge monitors. She just started a new job at Ropes and Gray. She just passed the bar exam. So just started her exam. She's working around the clock, but she actually texted me last night with like a little Bitmoji thing or whatever, just like, I'm tired, and because she's working a lot, which makes sense why she would be tired. But I was thinking it had more to do with what you were saying in your webinar. Can you talk a little bit about people who have their desk right in their bedroom?
So it's, first of all, if you think about the energy of a bedroom, or the purpose of a bedroom really is for you to, escape from the outside world, rest, reconnect, rejuvenate yourself, and then be able to step back into the world completely refreshed. And so when you start adding in all those active energies into the bedroom, like exercise equipment and office work and desks and paperwork, it'll start to transform the bedroom. And then the bedroom is not a restful space for you anymore. And there's no place to escape work or other things. And so you end up really undermining your need for rest and for sleep, and even for romantic connection, because there's this, looming, all those screens are looming overhead and they're constantly whispering, you should be working on me, or oops, an email just came in, or this paperwork needs to get done. And it becomes a distraction. And even when you're sleeping at night, you're in such a vulnerable, energetic state that it's really talking to you in that state as well. So even if you feel like you've put it away, energetically, it's still circulating around you while you're sleeping all night long. So not ideal.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want, the whole thought about like the romance part of it. It's like, you have 2 monitors, like, is my boss watching me?
Did somebody hack into my computer?
What's going on here? But if there are people, would you have a question?
We do. Sorry, my microphone is.
No, it's you.
Okay. So Katie LaCava Star.
Mhm.
She says, hello, I recently reoriented my office and put my desk in the middle with my back against the wall. And now I'm facing the door and window in opposite corners in front of me. But I am curious if the placement of the things on my desk make a difference too.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
question.
that's a great question. Yeah, so it does, in the sense that you can actually, we use a tool in Feng Shui called the Bagua Map.
I love it.
And in some schools of Feng Shui, orient the Bagua Map based off of directions. And again, in my school of Feng Shui, we use the front door. But you can also use the Bagua Map on a desk. So the front of the Bagua Map would be where you're sitting. And then so you can actually have a wealth corner of your desk and a relationship corner of your desk. And you can really use that to optimize the energy and, put a symbol for wealth and abundance, and put a symbol for relationships. And not necessarily romantic relationships, but it could be your business relationships.
Mhm.
So you could set some kind of symbol there that reminds you of the relationships and how you show up for them. So it can be a really powerful tool to use that, any flat surface really, as another opportunity to call energy to the different parts of your life that you want to call in.
That was a really good question. Any other questions from Facebook?
Not right now.
Okay, perfect. Again, you're listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable here with the McNamara Broker team at Boston Connect Real Estate. We are located on the South Shore and we are servicing our clients. We like to say in a holistic manner is how we tend to work with our clients who are thinking about buying or selling a home. We can connect you from Boston to South Shore and back once that market out there is better.
One day.
And tonight we have a special guest with us. We have Kerri Miller on with us, and she is a Feng Shui consultant and clearing, right? Is that what you said?
Yep, energy clearing.
And
yes.
energy clearing. And I'm all about this. And I already know, Dad, you're listening and you say enough of that voodoo stuff or whatever you say, but I don't care. I love this. And if I could say the other word that's SH, I would. I love
Oh.
this stuff. Can we go back to the bedroom thing? Some people just don't have the option, just like I had brought up with Mary's office. What are some suggestions if you just can't? Because in my daughter's situation, and there are many people in the same situation, her option would be to take her desk and have it in her bedroom, or take her desk and put it in her family room area.
Right.
What would you consider? What would be better?
Well, I would say for sure, to look at, if she had me in to look at her space, we would be talking about what's going on and trying to find the best option for her. If sleep is being impacted for her, and if she's not getting a lot of rest and never feels like she can step away from work, then it might be an opportunity to move it to a different area. And if work is coming between the relationship, that would be another reason why you might want to take further steps to move the office work further away. And if you can't do that, if that's not an option, you can always make a really conscious decision to close everything down at a certain time, really put everything away and tuck it away at the end of the day so that it's not out and kind of leaking energy about work on you while you're sleeping. And you can even do things like take a sheet and cover the monitors, or put a screen up between the bed and the monitors so that you are getting just a little bit more of a barrier from that, and doing a little bit more to hide that and create a boundary between work and sleep and life and all of that.
So Kerri, like one of the things you're talking about right now is how having the desk in there is impacting your sleep, but could the bedroom be impacting your work? I'm not saying that this is happening to my daughter, but I'm guessing, could that happen vice versa? Like, all right, I'm in my room, so I feel lazy, I feel
Sleep is calling
tired,
my
I feel,
name.
you know what I mean? I just feel.
Absolutely. Yeah, because usually the energy of the bedroom is a little bit quieter. Like bedrooms are naturally quieter, calmer, a little bit more restful. Hopefully they're arranged to kind of, invite you in and get you into that state of relaxation and calm. And so they're not really that high vibe cheerleader, let's get to work, let's get it done kind of energy. The two different kinds of energy are definitely conflicting with each other. And so that's why it becomes more of a challenge.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the screens.
Me too, I said that, yeah.
They make some really cool ones that you can just put up like a screen divider, and that way it's just kind of away, or even like a writer desk. So I know she has the laptop. She could put the iPad underneath, but maybe not like the desktop. Like, the writer desks that come down, they fold
Oh
down.
yeah, no, she has one of the desks that go up and down now,
Yeah.
the stand up one, but with the two monitors attached to it. So it's it's atrocious. It's humongous.
I could never have my desk, and I would just, it would be calling me all night. Like,
Mhm.
you can't sleep.
Well-
open up your laptop, respond to that one more email.
Well, that's the other thing too, which is a really good segue, is, talk a little bit about having your phones in your bedroom. I'm probably one of the only people who has, my husband Mark and I truly do not put our telephones in our bedroom.
Yeah.
They're in my office, they're put away with the volume off. And I don't know how, like if I stay in a hotel, I am on that thing all night long. All night long. So it just
That was
like
before TikTok, just so you know.
I know. So what is your thought process on that?
Well, everything, like anything like that, the telephone, having work in your office, having exercise equipment there, having books on your nightstand that are talking to you, it's all active energy, which is working against, the sleep. And, especially phones that have, the beeps and the notifications and other things, you can just be heading off into dreamland, and then you get woken up and it changes your whole cycle. So definitely keeping electronics away from the bed is ideal. And also, the other thing to consider is that they're emitting electromagnetic frequencies, which messes with the energy around you while you're sleeping anyway. So it's definitely good to keep them far away from the bedroom if you can.
After your last webinar, I had asked the question about my alarm clock that shines up on the ceiling.
Oh, geez.
And honestly, I was up every hour on the hour. And then it became a game for me. I was like, I wonder if I can wake up at 5:55, because I just woke up at 4:44. So let's try for 5:55. Like I'd play these little, after your webinar, I went upstairs, I got rid of the alarm clock.
I don't know whoever told her that was a good idea, but it was none of us. We were not on board.
I didn't know she had that.
Well, I brought it.
Whatever
There's
she-
one right there.
That's so
Put it in
funny.
Here so we could see what time it was on the thing. Mel, what questions do you have? I know that I've been hogging this conversation. Sorry
What
about that.
What about, well, so we kind of covered the bedroom office, but what about like bedroom in general, feng shui for your bedroom? Just quick.
Yeah.
She's
Like,
trying to bring
one-
some love into her
one-
bedroom.
one,
Let's
like,
just get
little
to it.
tutorial.
Well, it's really, I mean, again, it's an area designed for rest and reconnection with a partner, or, you know, it's about love and romance too. So making sure that it represents that, you know, it is a calming space. It's a relaxing space. It might have a little bit more romance and a little bit more passion in it, so that you can, you know, have that kind of vibe and that kind of energy when you walk into the space. So, you know, little things like, you know, candles and flowers are nice additions that are both calming but also a little bit romantic too.
And what about red sheets? Do you think people should just put red satin sheets on their bed? I see. Here's the thing. Mark
Who
is
do you know with red satin sheets? You,
Nobody.
Hefner?
No, I just thought like red. I don't know. I don't know if that's angry or what, but I can imagine that Mark is not comfortable in my bed because I have white sheets. That everything is really tight, and I think you guys came in and said it looked like a hotel.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I like that feeling.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
Mark's probably not too comfortable.
It's interesting because we get into something called the 5 elements. And so, you know, red sheets would be the fire energy, and fire energy can be passionate, but it can also be angry. And, you know, white sheets can be, you know, it's kind of the metal element, and it can be inflexible and solid. And so
Me.
it's about balancing all the elements so that the different personalities, you know, so that you have a little bit of the personalities all melding, and it's harmonious instead of all of one thing or all of the other thing. So
Just real quick, what's the best color sheets you should have for?
yeah, usually in the bedrooms, they
passion.
talk about kind of like definitely softer, more pastel colors, and like the flesh tones, like the rose golds
Cream.
and
I just
those
bought
kinds of
cream.
colors.
Okay.
You're on your.
I'm
you're
not.
on
I'm
your
not
way.
into white sheets, so I bought cream sheets, and I texted Mary. I said I'm getting closer, but I'm not going
Oh,
to
we
get to
have
the
4
white.
minutes left. I
But-
wish we were on till 7:30.
Well, we do have Kristen Howlett must be on Zoom with us because
Okay.
she just sent in a question and said, do you have anything to say about bedrooms over the garage?
Yeah, so that's important to know because the garage has a different kind of energy. It's a lot of active energy. It's usually a colder space and not very warm. There's also, you know, the car itself it's bringing a lot of energy from having driven around, and a lot of the emissions underneath the bedroom. So it's just important to be aware of it. You probably can't change that fact, but you can be extra careful about, you know, making sure that you're opening the windows in the bedroom and letting fresh energy in, and really doing a lot to energetically create a boundary between what's below and what's above, so that you're a little bit more protected from that energy.
So I know we're about to end, but I just want to ask one super quick question, just a clarification question.
Get it out.
When you're in your house and you're doing the 4 points, you know, the left, how are you doing? What are you doing that from? The front door always, or the entry door to that specific room?
Both. So for the map to your whole house, you would be doing it from the front door, and that would give you the wealth corner of the whole house. If you want to find the wealth corner of an individual room, it's from the entrance to the room itself.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go nuts on the house later.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
have some books on that, so I can show you that. Any other questions from Facebook?
No.
Did you have any specific questions before we give Kerri a chance to give all her information out for our WATD listeners?
No, I just want her to be able to give all of her information and see how anybody can get in touch with you, get a consultation. I know that you have there's a video on your link tree
Yeah.
and everything. So
Yeah, you have a great website. I've been all over your link tree. So
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah, really good website.
Yeah, I mean, my website is kerrimillerconsulting.com. I have a blog there, which you can read. I usually post, you know, regularly every week. Facebook, I am Feng Shui Pathways, and Instagram, I am Kerri Miller Feng Shui. So those are the best places to find me. And I do on Facebook, Every Friday at 11, I do a Feng Shui Friday chat. It's actually not happening this week because of school vacation week, but you can just pop in and listen to that once a week and get some tips and information and ask questions too. So
that's every Friday at 11 a.m. on Facebook Live.
yep.
Okay, perfect. And then you said that you were Feng Shui Pathways on Facebook.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, perfect. And I also know that you have a great YouTube channel.
Yes,
So I saw
that's
your
also
YouTube.
Feng Shui Pathways.
Yes, and lots of videos on there. I've been in there and looking around and sort of getting ready for tonight. We're super excited that we had you here. To all of our listeners, if you didn't get a chance, this is one of those ones you're going to want to listen to on your podcast. So wherever your podcasts are listened to, make sure you get this one. We'll have it up for you tomorrow. But again, we'll have all the information so you can get in touch with Kerri. But just real quickly, it's kerrimillerconsulting.com, and you'll get all the information there for consultations. And she's going to be coming to the South Shore soon, so let's book her up.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
you.
Kerri. We appreciate it, and we'll have you back, I hope.
Excellent. I would love
All
to come
right,
back.
that sounds great. So to all of our listeners, you can connect with us at bostonconnect.com, and you can get all of our contact information there.
Snow and ice leads to even more.
Woo, buzzer
This
beater.
is truly a storm of a
Kerri, what's your Instagram?
Millions.
Kerri Miller Feng Shui.
Oh, Kerri Miller. Okay, that I was trying to look you up at the very end.
Kerri
Yeah.
Miller, what?
Kerri Miller Feng Shui.
Feng Shui. Yep.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Kerri. That